Sometimes when we talk about rural, people are all focused on what happened before and what we assume rural is, and not about what's happening. The way that we're connected, the way we go back and forth between urban and rural is all going to change. And it's pretty important that we begin to imagine what those communities need to look like and who needs to be included in the decision making.
If you wanna go, I'm gonna go. I got a fire burning.
Every person is recognized no matter their status, because every person has the right to an education, a dignified job, right to equal pay for equal work, a quality of life, a right to recognition everywhere as a person under the law. These are our basic human rights, yet many are deprived from them. My devotion to economic justice comes from the hope that all migrant farm workers, low-wage workers and their families, including my own family, whether documented or not documented, had the same opportunity as I did.
But the President was very clear that we can't just have a passionate and very dedicated Secretary of Agriculture. We can't just have a passionate and dedicated Secretary of the Interior. We need to have the entire executive branch, the entire federal government rowing in the same direction hard to assist rural America, to provide the capacity and the resources and the tools that you all need to succeed, that rural America needs to succeed, that the nation needs because the nation depends upon rural America.
In this room, we represent over 100 communities from 37 states, and not a one of us is afraid of better. We aren't. We are not afraid of better. As of today, our story is, we create opportunity in rural America. As of today, our story is, say it with me, we are not afraid of better.
Everyone here is out to see rural America thrive. But we are the solutions in this room because we left rural America to come here today. Preventing brain drain is not about keeping our kids in their small towns. It's about encouraging them to go off and gain knowledge, and then giving them the desire to come back as owners of their rural communities who feel a responsibility to make it a better place.
If you wanna go, I'm gonna go. I'm going back down south now.
To advocate successfully for rural America, you have to have guts. People might not always like the questions that you ask or the things that you say, but having the audacity to say them will never go out of fashion. You'll never lack for an audience, and it's something that we're in painfully short supply of today in this country.
Folks, we're not going to have that more inclusive nation unless people around this country recognize and understand that we cannot accept failure with impunity, that there have to be consequences to failure. There has to be a way of holding people accountable for turning their back on rural America.
The President believes strongly, and I share his belief, that where you live shouldn't determine your chance for a healthy life. For the first time ever, I would suggest, insurance companies are actually going to have to compete against each other on the basis of price and on the basis of service, because the policies will be very similar. No one will be able to lock anyone out of the market with a pre-existing health condition ever again, because actually you need health insurance if you're sick. Women, and I see there are a lot of women in this room, being a woman will no longer be a pre-existing condition. Those days are done. And again, right now, in the individual market, a woman can pay 50% more than a man, just because of your gender. Those days are going to come to an end.
What does rural America say to the foundation sector of the United States, not just individual givers, but institutional givers, about how they can pay attention to the needs of 50 million people that I think the speeches by Secretary Vilsack and Secretary Sebelius really laid out the case in important terms for foundations. This is not simply something that's just one little applicant sending a proposal. You can say, gee, you didn't write it well enough. This is, what does philanthropy owe to how should philanthropy respond to rural America?
Now is the time for focused, purposeful, or as we say in the church community, intentional behavior in the social media arena. Because for the first time, living in Meridian, Oregon and Meridian, Mississippi doesn't mean diddly squat. In near real time, we can get to critical mass and make our voices heard. And we heard it more than once, and my final thought is this: you're doggone right rural America's worth fighting for.
So when the dominant consciousness says that it's all right to exclude certain people, that it's all right to marginalize certain people, that it's all right to deprive certain people of the resources that are necessary for their health and well-being, this voice says that that isn't all right, and that we have to do whatever is necessary to intentionally include everyone in the process.